Fruit exports drop. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian Heise here with my evening stein of coffee, and I thought we would have a look at this article from ABC, from the rural section of their website, to do with a decline in fresh fruit exports because of the ongoing conflict in Hong Kong, or crisis, protest shall we say, in Hong Kong. I thought this is a fantastic example which we can all see how things that happen overseas beyond our control, beyond the control of our government. Oh, it would have all been better if we had voted in these idiots as opposed to these idiots. And just showing and understanding how that can affect our economy here in Australia. And there's really nothing we can do about it. There's only so much planning you can do. Now, before we jump to the article, let's have a look at one of my favorite websites, the Observatory of Economic Complexity, and we will look at tropical fruits. Now, tropical fruits are the 254th most traded product and the 1,164th most complex product according to the Product Complexity Index. The top exporters of tropical fruits are Mexico at 3.49 billion, Costa Rica, Peru, the Netherlands, how? And anyway, okay, you learn something new every day, and Chile. The top importers are the United States, the Netherlands, okay, that's how. Germany, France, and the United Kingdom. I'm just thinking, Holland, tropical fruit? Yeah, it snows there. Tropical fruits are the top export of Palestine. Well, there you go. Tropical fruits are also known as fresh dates, pears, quinces, stones, berries, pineapples, dates, avocados, mangoes, guavas, dates, figs, and avocados. So there you are. It's just showing you. And here, Australia, we are pretty low with regards to tropical fruit exports. I mean, New Zealand, let's just focus on Oceania. New Zealand's kicking our ass, guys. They're at 69%. Australia's only at 31%. They've got their export values at 88.9 million, and ours is at 40.4 million. I'm thinking this has probably got to do with the significant costs in, picking tropical fruits, and just the cost of labour in Australia means we can't compete with a lot of these other countries. Top importers in Netherlands. Australia, we're importing 110 million. We're exporting 40.4 million. So we're importing more than we're exporting. Okay, we kind of got a fair bit of places where we could grow some good tropical fruits, don't we? Funny that. So let's jump here and have a look at this. Nonetheless, even though we are not the global leaders, this is still an important industry in Australia. So let's have a look. There's some nice mangoes. I remember growing up in Victoria, and every time we'd come to Queensland for holidays, I just went nuts on mangoes. So farmers have warned that continual unrest in Hong Kong could hurt Australian exports as pro-democracy protests cripple the city's economy. Hong Kong is Australia's 8th largest export market, worth $13 billion annually, and recently signed a free trade agreement to open further to Australian trade. With the city an important protocol-free port of entry for fresh produce, the chair of the Australian Mango Industry Association, Ben Martin, said his industry was concerned about the impact of present unrest. Given the issues they're having over there at the moment, that's having an impact on the export market over there as well. It's having a significant impact on the amount of fruit that market can move, and realistically, how much fruit Hong Kong can consume. Mr. Martin said he has been told that tourist numbers have taken a dive, with the important hotel and restaurant trade suffering as a consequence. Well, Hong Kong is a beautiful city. I've visited there and I loved it. I really did. But there's no way I'd be going over now. Not with the kids or the family. A lot of the hotels are suffering from not as many tourists over there. It's had a huge impact on the fruit and vegetable trade through those markets, he said. With increased volume of fruit set to hit Australian domestic market in coming weeks, AMIA was concerned about the impact on prices for farmers. It does have impact on the bottom line and the profitability of their business, Mr. Martin said. The longer the unrest goes, the longer it's going to have an impact on Australian agriculture. Is Australia turning into literally a banana or mango republic? Retail spending smashed. Early data shows the Hong Kong economy entered recession in the third quarter of 2019, with the city's growth at its lowest ebb since the GFC of 2008. The impact on retail and tourism has been especially hard, with visitor numbers halved and significant commercial districts shut down due to protest. Trade Minister Simon Birmingham said the impact was significant, with such a major trade partner for Australia's agriculture and horticultural exports. In terms of the food service industry, restaurants, catering, etc., there are negative impacts, he said. These are tough times in Hong Kong. We've continued consistently to urge for a peaceful resolution when it comes to the circumstances. Market access is the focus. On the Atherton tablelands, Bimbura mango grower, you gotta love these names, Genaro area, Barron River, Gold Mangoes, said he will be selling fruit online for the first time in response to the downturn in traditional markets. My expert agents wants to do a trial in Singapore with online buying. You won't be going to a middleman, he said. Years before, we exported a lot to the Middle East, but with unrest in Israel and so on, there's a lot of places that aren't taking the same volume. Mr. Martin said the Australian mango export industry needed to further diversify its markets to reach its aims of 20% of fruit export, up from the present of 12%. Exports are a huge part of our industry. AMIA have made final submissions to the Trade Advisory Panel for market access revision for China, South Korea and Japan, he said. Hopefully, out of that we'll be at the top of the list and get some action and results for growers out of this. Senator Birmingham said representatives from Australia's overseas trade mission, Austrade, would assist afflicted exporters, and work was ongoing to review protocols with key markets. We've settled trade agreements in place with Korea, Japan and China, he said. There are review mechanisms that we will seek to use when we can to further expand our access into those markets. The minister said recent agreements with Indonesia saw the tariff for mangoes slashed to 12.5% from 20%, along with zero tariff for Peruvian exports. Well, there you go, guys. It's not really free trade world out there, is it? But he admitted it will be some time before established markets like Hong Kong could be replaced with alternative opportunities. So, protocol problems. Mr. Martin has worked to establish a niche in the New Zealand retail market and said despite the downturn in the Hong Kong sector, opportunities did exist elsewhere. Protocols are one of the biggest issues we face. We've got access to a number of countries, but the protocols to get fruit in there are too restrictive to a lot of growers. Issues with mango seed weevil, a pest that has no effect on the eating quality of the fruit, meant many Queensland farmers were unable to enter certain markets. We'd like to adopt new technology and new treatments to open up more fruit to be exported, Mr. Martin said. Definitely through Asia, there's a huge opportunity for Australian mangoes, and the potential for Australian mangoes and produce is just enormous. So there you go, guys. There is a clear example of how conflict and protests and political issues in China are having an effect on an economic sector here in Australia. And just think about the issues that prolonged conflict or construction or slowdowns in other economy might affect iron ore or some of the other, let's say, larger sectors of our economy that we're dependent on. Let's just look at the key points that we have here. Hong Kong is Australia's 8th largest market and is worth $13 billion annually. The impact of civil unrest in Hong Kong on its tourism and hospitality industries is affecting the profitability of Australian fruit and vegetable traders. And Trade Minister Simon Birmingham said there's continued consistency to urge for a peaceful resolution. Well, I mean, good luck. What do you think, guys? Do you think we'll start seeing this happen in more industries? Are you surprised that Australia just can't compete really on a global scale with the amount of tropical fruit that we can produce? Maybe we need to look at some of the tropical parts of the nation and look at how we can maybe get some water, make water cheaper, maybe get labor cheaper, maybe some special economic regions where people go and, you know, okay, they get paid less, but they also don't have to pay tax, or give them a tax cut. Let's try and create ways to create opportunities. Let me know what you think and what your suggestions are. Take care, everyone. Thank you for watching. And if you like my content and want to help us produce more, we have a Patreon where you can donate. We've got Amazon and eBay affiliate links where we receive a commission every time you make a purchase. And we also have merch on the Heise Says website. Pocket squares are still available, perfect for Christmas. Take care, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.